What's up, you two? Pastor Bob. I wanted to let you know that probably around the end of this month, keep your eyes peeled. This is my 59 limited edition with Epiphone and the Gibson Custom Shop, one of the first ones off the line. If you notice, I did something cool to it. Notice that it shines? See that? See that shininess? That nice? A lot of people are like, oh, well, I can't get my top to shine like, the old nitro lacquer. Well, I figured it out. Look at that. That nice? Came out pretty nice, huh? See, it's the real deal. Anyway, this is not about this guitar, so stay tuned. Around the end of this month, keep your eyes peeled. Everybody's been saying, oh man, it's too bad that Epiphone can't come out with, a Greeny, the Greeny style. And I'm thinking, what the hell are you guys talking about? And they're like, oh yeah, it'd be so much cheaper. Well, stay tuned, because around the end of this month, you ought to be seeing the release of an Epiphone Greeny, and I believe it's going to be somewhere around $1,300 to $1,500. So if you're looking to get a somewhat close copy, and I'm going to say close copy, okay, of the Greeny, produced by Gibson, well, I got a feeling you're going to see one pop up around the end of the month, just in time for Christmas, so you can spend all your hard-earned cash, give everybody cheap gifts from the dollar store and five and below, and you get yourself a brand spanking new Epiphone Greeny style copy guitar. I'm sorry, I gotta laugh. You know, I see Gibson and I see these guys saying, oh yeah, I got the exact copy. No, you did not. It's impossible. Okay? Let me just say this to everybody out there in the world that thinks that if you're going to spend, I don't care if it's 4,000 or 20,000, or if you meet with them and kiss them and hug them and get invited over for cake, cookies, and tea, you are not going to get something exactly like it. Even if it looks similar, it's not going to be exactly the same. Any luthier can tell you that. Okay? It can't even be a copy, right? It should say similar, copy style. The reason why is because the guitar fibers of each piece of wood, no matter where you cut it, is not going to be exactly the same. It's impossible. Absolutely impossible. Every guitar is created by itself. It's an individual guitar, okay? They're one of a kind. They're not exactly the same. It's impossible. So don't believe that kind of bullshit. Pastor Bob said bullshit, because that's exactly what it is. Will it look similar? Possibly. Will the electronics and everything and all the, machine heads and everything look similar? Possibly. But it cannot ever be Greeny. It can't ever be that exact same guitar. And if somebody wanted to have a lawsuit or something like that, they could easily prove that. I had a few of my friends just, they're like, oh yeah, I've been thinking about it. I said, what are you, crazy? Why would you want to do that? I mean, if you like the sound of the pickups and the way that everything is wired, you could easily buy that stuff for around $500 or so, and whatever else I mean, probably for $800, you can get all the appointments necessary to put it on any old Les Paul, right? That you may have. You could build yourself your own, and it will sound similar, but spending $20,000, man, marketing is just stealing people's money. No, I suppose if those people, they want that, then look, I get it. Some of them custom shop guitars will hold their value. Why? Because it says Gibson on the headstock. Is that going to make it play better than any other guitar? Is that going to make it exactly Greeny with all those years of changing tones and changing weather and weather conditions, sweat, beer, cigarettes, whatever else that guitar's been around, vibrations. The years of vibrations, that makes a big difference in a guitar. So, you're not going to have that guitar, and that's why that guitar is very special. Now, if you need an homage to say, oh yeah, I'm a Greeny lover, okay, well that's cool. I might eventually get one too. In an Epiphone, because I like the Epiphones. I think the Epiphones sound absolutely phenomenal. Okay, these guitars here, well, this is one of the first ones that they came out with. So, they run around $1,000, $1,200. And they hold their value. Why? They're great guitars. They got USA burst buckers in it, okay? And CTS pots and Switchcraft switches and, they got good stuff. Yeah, great guitar. You want one that's similar to a 59? Not exactly the same, but similar playability. There's a lot of things that you got to do, age has a lot to do with things. Doesn't have a nitro cellulose top. It's neither here nor there. You can always manipulate your sounds with pedals and, this and that. But guys, for the people who want something similar and, want to see what it's like and you don't want to put out all kinds of money, hey, Epiphone is doing something great. Okay? I've been waiting for one to come out, and I can't believe it. They're actually going to do it. And the interesting thing is they're going to have an open book, just like a Gibson headstock, which is kind of strange, to be honest. Because generally that doesn't happen, that's not how you see Epiphones created. But I guess Gibson's like, no, these are special, and this is what we're going to do. And I think that's cool, I think that's great. I think they got 3 screws in the headstock from what I seen on the truss rod cover, which Greeny doesn't. I think it has 2, because generally Gibsons do. I think some of the models might have had 1. I can't remember. It's been a long time. But, if you want a cheap way of, paying homage to, old Greeny, then, hey, it'll be a inexpensive way for people who, want to get something that's really nice with really nice pickups and really nice appointments for a halfway decent price. I say, hey, that's the best way to go. Your next step up will be a Gibson. That's about $4,000 for the inexpensive model. And then up from that, I think it's $20,000. And then the top one, when you have a meet and greet and kissing and having cookies and crumpets or whatever they do, I don't know. That's $50,000, which I think is, I think it's ridiculous myself. But, it's about the guitar, right? And there's a billion guitars, and there's a billion guitars that sound, well, I'd say millions of guitars that sound great, It's really about what you put into it. But if you're looking for an inexpensive way of doing it and going about it, and you're a lover of the guitar, and you want to get close to the sound and close to the looks, hey, Epiphone's going to do it. And I was not surprised when I I got a feed about it. I was like, oh, that's cool. When are they coming out with that? And I guess it's supposed to be around the end of November. I don't know. They could change that. It really has to do with supply and demand, Who knows? Uh, some people say that there's some people in some stores that already have them. I don't know. I haven't physically seen that yet. So I'm not exactly sure. But I would keep my eyes open and my ears open. I think because you're going to probably see them come up about here pretty soon, hopefully, and you'll have your chance. And like I said, I think it's going to be somewhere. I'm going to say between $1,200 and $1,500. I would assume that because of certain things that the guitar is probably going to be equipped with. They're probably going to have I would say that they're probably going to have a different tailpiece and bridge style. I would assume that because they'll probably want to try to get as close as possible to the Gibson style. And I think the electronics and certain things. I think Greeny's got two different styles of potentiometer caps on. I'm not sure. I can't remember. I think the knobs are mismatched, though. If I'm not mistaken. I think the wiring is different, and the pickups are specific type. I have PAFs, I believe. And I think the difference between the Epiphone and the Gibson is the size of the post, your tailpiece, and your bridge. I'm not sure about the machine heads, what they're doing with them, or your tuners. I do know that the headstock is going to be the open book that looks like the Gibson. And I don't think it's relic or anything. I think it's just probably a lemon drop color. So anyways, just want to give you a little information that I heard through the grapevine. So keep your eyes peeled. Take care. God bless. Pastor Bob. I'm out of here. See ya.